Hello, I'm Jacqueline Sakamoto. July starts from next week. I can't wait for the rainy season to end. Hot summer is coming.
Mal posso esperar para passar o tsuyu, o período de chuvas, e começar logo o verão.
Hello, I'm Rafaela Yoshi. It's winter in Brazil. Unlike here, the winter is warm in Brazil, which is different from Japan.
No Brasil, o inverno é quente também, né?
The summer in Japan is humid like a greenhouse. On the other hand, the sun is very strong during the summer in Brazil, but it's dry and cool in the shade. Even though we sweat, we get dry quickly. That's right, it's hot and humid in the summer in Japan. Today we will show you how to survive the intense heat of Japan's high temperatures and humidity. We have to be especially careful of heat stroke.
Temos que tomar muito cuidado com o netio-sho, problemas causados pelo calor intenso.
Let's see what heat stroke is, as some people might not be familiar with it. We went to the Koka Public Hospital to ask what heat stroke is. Dr. Ida told us about it. Let's see. What is heat stroke? When the temperature and humidity get very high, like the summer in Japan, human bodies lose water and salt quickly. If you keep losing salt, you begin to feel fatigue and then you have a cramp. First, you may have a cramp in your leg and then you get confused. Finally, you can't perceive your situation and your body begins to have generalized convulsions and you can even pass out.
そしてどんどんこうきつくなってくると痙攣が起こってくる。初めはこむら返りみたいな痙攣が起こってきますし、もう少しするとこの場所とかそういう意識のコンフゾーンメンターンみたいになってきて、もう自分の状況がはっきり分からなくなってくる。で最後はこう全身痙攣みたいになって意識を失うと。
Heat stroke can be very dangerous. Can anyone suffer heat stroke? Yes, I think anyone can have heat stroke. Among people who were brought by ambulance, 46% are over 65 years old. 54% are under 65, including children. The number of children under 18 is great, and the workers are the majority. There is a difference between over 65 and under 65.
54%で子供もかかっております。18歳未満の子供も多いし、それからいわゆる一番働く人たちですね、労働者いうか、そういう方もものすごい多いですね。ただ大きく見ますとちょっと性質が違うんですね。
People who are over 65 even suffer from heat stroke indoors or in the shade. Of course, some people have heat stroke in the sun, too. This is the difference between heat stroke and sunstroke. Many workers have heat stroke when they are outdoors, but some are indoors and in the shade.
もちろん働いている人たちはやはり頻度的には外で働いている人が多いんですけれども、それでも一部は室内であったり日陰でも起こっております。
When children are playing sports, they have heat stroke. Some are outdoors, but some are indoors. You might have heard about it in the news. Therefore, we conclude that anyone can have a heat stroke.
複数人数ですね、バタバタ倒れたりとかテレビでニュースとして流れてますけれども、やはり一部ではそういう方もおられます。したがって、誰でもかかるといえば誰でもかかるというふうに理解したらいいんじゃないでしょうか。
That's scary. We can suffer from heat stroke not only working outdoors, but also by not doing anything in particular indoors.
Pessoas que estão dentro de casa também podem ter netio-sho sem fazer nada.
É isso mesmo.
That's right. Moreover, almost half of the heat stroke patients are over 65 years old. In addition, according to national statistics, there are 200,000 emergency transports of heat stroke patients from 2010 to 2013, and about 500 people were killed.
Dessas, cerca de 500 pessoas acabaram falecendo.
Nossa, é muito
That's
perigoso
scary.
mesmo.
Let's take a look at what heat stroke symptoms are.
Principais sintomas do Netio-Show.
Let's go over what Dr. Ida from Coca Public Hospital explained to us. Symptoms are divided into three levels: light, medium, and severe symptoms. First, light symptoms are vertigo, lightheadedness, muscle aches, muscle stiffness, cramp, and heavy sweating.
Dor muscular, rigidez muscular, cãibra, transpiração em excesso.
Next, medium symptoms are headaches, malaise, nausea, vomit, and fatigue.
Mal-estar, náuseas, vômito, fadiga.
And lastly, severe symptoms are disturbance of consciousness such that you don't know where you are, convulsions, disorder of hands and feet such that you are not able to walk, and high fever.
Distúrbio de movimento das mãos e pés, febre alta.
If someone has these symptoms, what can we do? I went to ask about this. If someone has symptoms of a heat stroke, what should we do? I asked the Coca-wide Area Fire Department. The Assistant Manager of Ambulance Service Section, Mr. Fujikawa, talked about this.
O chefe de emergência, o Sr. Fujikawa, respondeu às nossas dúvidas.
What can we do if someone has symptoms of a heat stroke? Let me explain the first aid of heat stroke. At first, move the person to a cool place. As we need to lower the body temperature, we move the person into the shade or to an air-conditioned room if possible. Next is taking clothes off and cooling down the body. Taking clothes off helps the dissipation of heat from the body. We put some water on the skin and blow the air by fan to cool the body temperature. If you have ice packs, put them on both sides of the neck, under armpits, and on the joints of the thighs. This is good for chilling the blood veins under the skin. These are the same spots mothers cool down when children have a fever. We should cool the body temperature as soon as possible. Even if we call the ambulance, we should cool the body temperature before the ambulance arrives. If we don't have ice packs, what should we do? We put ice cubes in our freezer in a plastic bag and cool the body temperature. Can we use frozen gel packs, which are used for lunch boxes? Sure we can. Next is supplying of water and salt. Provide chilled water and encourage drinking by themselves. Chilled water can lower the temperature inside through the stomach wall and aid in fluid management at the same time. If they sweat heavily, sports drink or oral rehydration solution are good to take to supplement salt which they lose through sweat. Is there any meaning to having them drink themselves? Yes, if you force someone who is unconscious to drink, the liquid might go into the trachea. This is why it is important to encourage them to drink by themselves. If we don't have sports drink, can we give them water? Water is okay. However, as they lose sodium, we should dissolve salt in the water and give them the salty water. And lastly, if they can't drink by themselves or are unconscious, please call an ambulance. To request an ambulance, dial 119. Thank you for the detailed explanation. It was easy to understand. I see. We should chill a patient's body, and then if they are severe, we should call 119.
Exatamente. E não devemos
Exactly.
esquecer de
We
manter a
should stay
calma
calm and try to
procurar
speak
falar em
Japanese
japonês
or
ou
ask
pedir
someone
para
to
alguém
call
que fale
119.
para ligar para o 119, o corpo de bombeiro, e pedir socorro.
E agora
Here,
algumas
we
dicas
give you some
nossas
tips.
para vocês.
When you call
Quando
119,
precisar
they will
ligar para
ask
o
you,
119
Kaji desu
e
ka?
pedir socorro, a
QQ
primeira
desu
pergunta
ka?
que
You
vocês
should
vão
memorize
digitar
these words,
é
Kaji
Kaji
and
desu ka?
QQ.
QQ
Kaji
desu
is
ka?
fire.
Vamos
QQ is
procurar
emergency.
lembrar as palavras em
They will
japonês.
ask your address,
Kaji
name, and
e
number.
QQ.
You should at
Kaji
least be able to
significa
answer this in
fogo ou
Japanese.
incêndio. E QQ significa emergência. Em seguida, vão pedir para você falar o endereço, o nome e o número do telefone. Vamos procurar passar esses dados em japonês, ok?
Even if you speak just a little choppy Japanese, it is no problem. The important thing is to say it calmly and speak slowly.
E como podemos prevenir
How can we
contra
prevent heat
netsusho?
stroke?
Eu também perguntei
We
sobre
asked
isso
Dr.
para o
Ida
Dr.
about
Ida.
this too.
How
can we prevent heat stroke? In the hot summer days, we should take lots of liquids. It's important to drink not only water but also soft drinks such as sports drinks. As I said before, it is very important that if you have light symptoms of heat stroke, you should stay in the shade and loosen your clothes and cool your body temperature and take some liquids. This is a generality.
それから先ほど言いましたような例えば1度の症状が仮に出てきたら早めにですねこういう日陰に行って服を緩めてそして冷やすとか水分取るとかそういうことが非常に大事だと思います。これがまず一般論ですね。
The elderly, or people who take diuretics, or people who have serious anemia, have difficult feeling the
そ
heat.
れから病気持ちの方で利尿剤とか飲んでおられる方あるいは貧血がきつい方これは暑いのが感覚が分かりにくくなるんです。
For example, when a younger person enters the room and says, "How can you stand this heat?" But for these people, it is not so hot. I advise them to use the air conditioner to keep the room temperature at 28 degrees Celsius. But the elderly won't turn on the air conditioner as they say it's wasting money or they will be sick if they stay in an air-conditioned room. So what is more important is to use something else to cool the room down.
で必ずしもクーラーなくても他の手段で部屋を涼しくする。これが非常に大事じゃないでしょうか。
Another thing is drinking plenty of water. There is interesting data which says when the temperature rises, suddenly there are many cases of emergency, but a few days after the number of patients decreases. The adaptation to the heat may have occurred or people may have started taking precautions from the heat. We have to be careful with heat stroke during the rainy season, especially the end of rainy season as the temperature rises suddenly.
上がった日にものすごい多いんですよ。で2日3日になってくるとちょっと減ってくるんですね。これは一つはそういう適応アダプタションが起こってるんかあるいはいろんなことを注意するとかそういうこともあるかも分かりません。それから特に梅雨明けで梅雨から梅雨明けもちろん梅雨の時に気温が高い時あるいは梅雨明けの時にですねぐわっと気温が上がる湿度が高いそういうところが6月の中旬から終わりこれ非常に多いんですね。その辺のところをまず注意するということじゃないでしょうか。
As we watched in the video, it's important to drink fluids, but be careful not to drink too much soda as it might cause other diseases.
O excesso de refrigerantes podem provocar outras doenças.
É verdade.
That's right, you might have a poor appetite because of the heat, but it's important to eat well to maintain our health.
Mas é importante que a gente se alimente bem para manter a saúde.
People in Japan make green curtains which are made of climbing plants such as goya or bitter gourds to cool down the room temperature. This is killing two birds with one stone, as we harvest bitter gourds and cool down the room too.
Ajudam a baixar a temperatura interna de casa. Se plantar o goiá, além de baixar a temperatura de forma ecológica, ainda podemos comer depois. É como diz o provérbio japonês, iseki nicho, ou, em português, matar 2 coelhos com uma cajadada só.
Speaking of food, we have to be careful with food poisoning at this time of year. The risk of food poisoning by bacteria is high as high heat and high humidity continue from the rainy season to the end of September. Even if the bacteria grows in the food, we won't notice by the taste or by looking. We won't smell it either. We prevent the food poisoning by avoiding contamination and spreading of bacteria and eliminate them through cooking your meals. I didn't know bacteria doesn't smell. We shouldn't eat raw or undercooked meat. We should cook meat well. Don't forget to wash your hands before cooking. We have been talking about how to survive the intense heat. There is one more thing. During the summer holiday, we go to swimming pools, rivers, and lakes. To prevent accidents involving water, we will give you some tips.
Para prevenir acidentes envolvendo água, vamos dar algumas dicas.
Don't forget to do stretching exercises before swimming. Don't swim after drinking alcohol. Pay attention to sudden changes of weather, such as lightning and storms passing. The water level in rivers and valleys between mountains can rise suddenly. Keep your eyes on young children. Don't let them play alone. Make sure an adult is always with them. Call out for help when you notice someone drowning. Hot summer is coming. We will take great care not to have a heat stroke or not to get involved in accidents in the water. Let's enjoy the summer. More information follows. SHIGA Public Housing registration starting. We will be open to applicants for SHIGA Public Housing from July 16th to the 25th. People who meet the requirements at registration can apply. The vacant house list will be posted about a week before the start of registration, and the public lottery will be in early August. For more information, please contact SHIGA Prefecture Housing Management Center.
Maiores informações no Centro de Controle de Moradias Públicas do SHIGA-ken, ou SHIGA-ken Ken-ei Jutako, Kanri Center.
SHIGA Manabi Hakken, SHIGA Intercultural Association for Globalization, will hold an event called Let's Get to Know Other Countries, a local cafe in which children can learn and experience other countries' culture and customs. This is one of the programs of SHIGA Manabi, Learning, Hakken, Discovery. It will be held at SHIGA International Association for Globalization on the second floor of the Piazza Omi, Otsu City from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on July 29th. Please join us. Our next show will be on July 26th. The theme is How to Protect Ourselves from Natural Disasters. We focus on typhoons, tornadoes, and lightning. You can watch previous shows on Internet TV SHIGA at the SHIGA Prefecture homepage. See you next time.